I don't really have much of an update to give this week. The the update I would have to give is the side of things that other people never really talk about. I think particularly when it comes to like this YouTube content from up and coming agency owners, a lot of the stuff you see is people talking about the wins and what's going well and when things are crushing it. And like to be honest, things at the moment are in a pretty tough spot. This month should be profitable, which is good. Should do around 20,000 this month back end without allowing for any new sales, which is good. That's okay. Like I'll be profitable on that. But there's still just this massive bottleneck of new sales coming through and actually getting new cash, signing on new clients and being profitable with my ads. So if I look at my numbers from last month, I think I spent around $13,000 on ads US. And I brought in that new sales rep at the start of the month. I got him ramped up, well, I was trying to get him ramped up. And there were just like massive issues that we were running into. I think if I pull up the numbers here, I wish I could share my screen, but my Loom's already started. Yeah, in September last month, I mean, our cost per offer was $800. We made 17 offers with $13,500 of ad spend. It was crazy. It was absolutely ridiculous. And I was the only person who closed someone. I closed a $6,000 PIF. I closed that very early in the month, and then he came on and he got started. And I just made the mistake of I handed off responsibility too soon. And I'm at a point now where I'm getting him trained up. He is getting better, and I think he's going to start making a fair few closes soon. And we should be very profitable on our ads. But man, like it's so tough to spend 13,000 on ads, particularly when I think last month we did like 22,000. When half of that is going towards ads, it's crazy. On top of that, I got payroll, I've got software costs, all of that stuff. I've got personal expenses. I was traveling around last month, so sometimes things are just really fucking hard. And I know this month, like I've been looking at my bank accounts, just been going down, particularly while I was traveling. I wasn't seeing the growth I was wanting to do while I was traveling, and the good thing was I was traveling around with people who helped a lot when it came to my mindset and, encouraging me to still be bold with the actions I was taking. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly, things have just been like really fucking hard. I feel like I'm spending a lot of money and just not getting back what I need to be seeing. And it just starts to create all these questions in your head around like, can I do this? Am I actually able to do this? And it starts creating questions like, should I give up? And like it's hard to like talk yourself out of those because it's like a totally different state of being when you're in that like state of survival almost, right? And it's like the fear starts to seep back in. And it's so hard to pull yourself out of that state of fear and put yourself back in I don't want to say place of abundance, but like a place of like raw self-belief, right? It's not always easy to like truly believe in yourself when things aren't going your way. And the funny thing is like, I say things haven't been going my way. I mean, it's really just been like a multitude of partly poor decision making, partly uneducated decision making. Yeah, I do feel like I've made a lot of progress over the past few months, but it's just like it's so frustrating to have felt like this whole year I've always felt like I've been on the precipice of a big leap, but I've just been stuck floating between like $20,000 to $30,000 a month. And I just haven't been able to break through it. And a big part of that is because I haven't been able to crack paid ads. I haven't been able to get um, I haven't been able to get a profitable advertising system in place, profitable on the front end where the cash flow is healthy. I can keep reinvesting into ads and I can collect a lot of cash up front. So I know I've got the processes in place for that now. Now it's just a case of having the skill sets to do that. And Oh, it's stressful, man. I'm gonna give my closer like another week or so. Um, but like, if he doesn't start closing, I can't afford to put enough into ads for him to actually have the volume that he needs. I am still working on things that I can control. I'm going through and focusing on priming leads more, right? So that when he gets on these sales calls, he's not having to battle as much against low quality. Instead, he can just essentially it's he's no longer having to like convince people to buy, or he's not having to like educate them on the product. They've done all the educate. They've had all the education that they need. They've had all the they've had like their most common questions answered, right? To try and like again pre-sell them as much as humanly possible. But yeah, I mean, like things have been quite hard recently. And it's times like this that I try to remind myself that this is the times where most people would give up. And like my ego really hurts during this time, particularly when I think, I was just at an event in August. There's another one that's going to be planned for February with the same group of guys, and I'd love to go to it, but matter of the fact is at the moment, like I just don't have the money. And then the other part that also sucks is like, even if I did have the money, I don't know if I'd want to go because I'm still stuck in the same place. I'm still struggling with the same problem, and the my ego would really struggle with turning up to an event like that and having to deal with the fact that I haven't made progress throughout that time. I don't even know what I'm trying to go over in this video. Um, I don't really have like a point in particular I'm trying to get across. I think if I'd be able to say anything to my past self, it would be spend more time actually like mastering a sales process before trying to get someone else on. And like the logical part of me is telling me that I should just get rid of the sales guy I've got on now, even though I know he's got so much potential. Like he could be so good. And I think we're really close to nailing it with him. I don't know. I just hope if anyone's watching this, which at this stage I doubt there is anyone because I've just been fucking silent for the past couple of minutes. But if there is anyone watching this, just know that like even though you, like, I've been doing this for years now, um, I feel so far behind where I want to be. Like I particularly when I see people who have started the same time as me or later than me who are so much further ahead. But I think it's a case of just like keeping perspective on the long term, right? Like if you want to learn like if you want to develop the traits of someone who's going to be very successful, if you want to be resilient, right? If you want to be someone who's resilient, then like you have to learn resilience. And the way you learn that is by going through hard shit, it's by facing challenges, and it's by having to essentially get through them, right? You want to be patient, you have to actually learn to be patient. And a lot of people want to claim that they have these traits, but I guess the helpful thing for me to remind myself is that sometimes you actually have to like earn the right to have those traits. You don't just like born with them. And yeah, I definitely think like resilience is one that I could personally work on still developing, um, particularly in the context of like keeping a positive perspective on things. Actually, one of the biggest things I've reminded myself is over the past week, I think just because things have been harder, I've really been like trying to avoid work. I've been avoiding like the stuff that's really going to move the needle forward. I've been avoiding a lot of client work, a lot of conversations I need to be having with clients to try and keep them on board. And I just like haven't been showing up. And one of the best things that I sort of just came to the realization today. I was watching a reel from an old coach that I worked with, and he was talking about leadership, and not like having a victim mentality waiting for people to come and save you. And I sort of realized that over this past week, particularly, like I haven't been a leader to myself. In the perspective of like I've just been sitting back, like avoiding what I need to do, hoping and cross my fingers and waiting that something is just like some miracle is going to happen and something's going to come save me or someone's going to come save me, rather than like really taking leadership and saying, hey, like I'm in this situation, fuck, like that sucks. But then what can I do to actually get out of that situation? What can I do to change that situation? And like the simple answer is like you have to show the fuck up. So that's the weekly reflection. Boom.